This video is sponsored by PokemonStore.com, the best place for you to get yourself some TCGO code cards. Looking for that specific code card to complete your deck or just to open up some packs, they have it all. From Darkness Ablaze, Champions Path, you name it. Look at the huge variety that they offer. Also, this video is sponsored by cardmarket.com. This is a platform I personally use every day, and this is for European players to purchase and sell cards all across Europe, and they have lots of good stuff on here. You can actually open up an account and start selling yourself or buy a fantastic amount of products from people all across Europe. So definitely check out both of my sponsors, PokemonStore.com as well as Card Market. And as a little addition, if you go to Pokemon Store, you can use the coupon code ZapdosTCG for 5% of your next order. So definitely do so. You'll help me out a ton. What's up YouTube, it's ZapdosTCG here and welcome back to another TCG deck profile video on my channel. In this deck profile, we're actually going to be taking a look at the first one from Vivid Voltage on my list, and that's going to be Donphan Spiritomb. Donphan has a good place in my heart because the first video I ever uploaded on the channel was about Donphan Prime of the Heart Gold Soul Silver series. I also got top 4 in the regionals with the Donphan from Plasma Storm, so Donphan has been one of my favorite Pokemon ever. Besides like Zapdos and Blacephalon. So anyhow, we have Donphan here being able to use Earthquake, and it actually smacks 120 damage for 1 fighting energy. The downside is that you smack 20 damage to every one of your bench Pokemon. So very similar to Donphan Prime, which smacked 60 damage and then put 10 damage on every one of your bench Pokemon. So it is updated and updated whatsoever very insanely. 1 energy, 120 damage. How good is that? Also, I can tell you that the fighting type is busted. We're going to be running things like Great Catcher and Bulbasaur. So what are we going after? Dedenne GX, weak to fighting. Awesome. Crobat V, weak to fighting. Awesome. PikaRom, weak to fighting. Awesome. And also Eternatus V, that is not a VMAX just yet. We one-hit KO that as well. So very fantastic numbers to say the least. 120 is perfect. And what better partner to just pair Donphan with them with a Spiritomb with Anguish Cry. Anguish Cry slaps 10 damage plus 30 more for every damage counter on Spiritomb. And of course with the Building Spite you can put damage counters on Spiritomb while also using the attack Earthquake to put more damage counters on your bench Spiritomb. That's why we're running 4 copies of Spiritomb. It's a 3-3 line of the Donphan line. The good news about Donphan is that the Phanpy is also very busted. It also has an attack here. I don't know what it is pronounced here. Let's just zoom in a little bit. It is Strike Back. Yeah, Strike Back, dishing out 30 damage for every damage counter on this Pokemon. And I don't know if you can calculate correctly, but the Phanpy has 70 HP. We're also running Cape of Toughness, which is able to put that to 120 HP. So if you're Phanpy, sometimes you can just build up some spite on your Phanpys because you can just use Earthquake, and you can use Jinx to move around the damage counters with the Omnious Posure. That is the ability of Jinx. So you can put up a Phanpy. It does need 2 energies to attack. So yeah, there's gonna be something you have to commit to here. But Phanpy can actually dish out insane damage output. Let's just calculate. If you have 120 HP and you use, of course, Jinx at the full capabilities with, of course, the Building Spite of Spiritomb, you can use Building Spite on a Spiritomb, move that damage counter with the Jinx onto the Phanpy, use some Earthquakes, and out of nowhere, imagine like a Phanpy having 110 damage onto it. Well, then it will be able to slap 330 damage with Strike Back. That's just insane to think about. So I do love Cape of Toughness in here. You could also be running Memory Capsule, which is a tool card allowing Donphan to use the attacks of the previous evolution. That's also an approach you could go for. Maybe you're running Big Charm on your Donphans, maybe even the buff padding, who knows, because Donphan does have a 4 retreat cost, so you could also go with that approach. But my opinion is just using Donphan as the attacker and just getting your bench Pokemon set up. A big weakness for this deck is, of course, Scoop Up Nets and Zigzagoon. So if you're up against an opponent that has capabilities of that, don't go overboard with your Building Spies. Just wait it out until you are ready to attack. Okay, with that being said, we're going to be using, of course, Donphan as the main lead, and afterwards the Spiritomb will clean off games because with, of course, the Cape of Toughness, the Spiritomb is also able to dish out a huge amount of damage And you can also hit weakness against certain archetypes. That's also very nice. You cover the darkness type as well as the fighting type. So that's awesome. What else is in this list is as Mew, protecting our bench, because something like a Salamence like spreads damage automatically, like we lose the game afterwards. So that's why there's a Mew in here, protecting our bench from spread attacks like that. And there's also for support like 3 Jirachis in here. You could also be thinking about the new Jirachi from the Vivid Voltage set, which lets you look at the top 2 cards of the deck, put one in the hand, one on top of the deck. So that could be an approach, but I'm still a huge fan of Jirachi, finding of course those Cape of Toughness, those Boss's Orders, digging deeper into the deck. That's what we want. That's also the reason why we're opted to go for 1 copy of Oricorio GX. Oricorio GX, if one of your Pokemon got knocked out during the previous turn of the opponent, you can actually draw 3 cards. And the reason why we're doing that is that we want to draw into Boss's Orders, we want to draw into the energies, or maybe even into the Martial Arts Dojo, the Stadium card. There's 2 Stadium cards in here. We're going to talk about those very shortly. But first of all, we need to draw the cards to just use Boss's Orders, because the good way that Donphan can win games is like Boss's Orders Dedenne, Boss's Orders Crobat, Boss's Orders Crobat, and that's how you win. So that's very, very fantastic. Okay, we're going to be running 4 Quick Ball, 2 Communication, and 2 Great Ball. You could be thinking about putting Evolution Incense in here if you find the room for it, but I do find like Great Ball is very nice, so you can get those early on Phanpys in play as well as Spiritomb. So Great Ball is very, very good. Also in the late game, if you get Reset Stamped or Marnie, you have an out with the Dedenne or your Oricorio GX. You might think, why aren't you not running stuff like a Crobat V? Well, the reason for that is that I do think with a stage 1 deck, but of course Donphan in there, that Crobat always is like, it's not doing the full commitment. Like you smack down Crobat and yeah, most of the times you only draw 2 or 3 cards. I would rather use Dedenne to go all overboard and just try to find my Boss's Orders to win games. So that's why we're running Dedenne and Oricorio for our support. There's Great Catcher in here. As mentioned, people will still be running GXs, and that's already awesome. So Great Catcher, you can punish Dedennes, but also sometimes you can be punishing Oricorio GXs in other scenarios, or maybe Tag Team GXs instantly, like and against PikaRom, you just want to knock out 2 PikaRoms. That's how fantastic it is. Ordinary Rod shuffles basic energies back, as well as Pokemon that you lost. Something like a Jinx could be like a great way. You can just put it back in the deck, or maybe your Mew, because you're very weak against spread. I haven't like made it clear just yet, but Scoop Up Net Zigzagoon, big weakness, and spread archetypes, big weakness. So something like Roxy Weezing, you don't want to see that, so you have to play very carefully against those kind of archetypes. But if you're up against like big 2 prize or 3 prize Pokemon, you shouldn't have any problems with your Donphan archetype. There's 4 Scoop Up Nets and 4 switches. The reason for that is that we can abuse Jirachi, but also if it comes to shove, like sometimes you just want to heal off one of your Pokemon instantly to just make sure that the opponent cannot use Galarian, Zigzagoon, and Scoop Up Nuts. That could also be an approach, but the good news about Scoop Up Nuts is of course that you can abuse Jirachi, Stellarish, Scoop Up, Stellarish again until you find what you need. The switches are also very busted because we're running Spite Muff. If we retreat our active Pokemon and it goes to the bench, we get 2 damage counters. That could be a quicker approach. So what I see happening is like when I'm play testing this archetype is like you use Donphan, 20 on everything, you promote your Spiritomb, you use a switch, Spike Mud is in play, bam, out of nowhere, you use Building Spite, 5 damage counters on Spiritomb instantly. So with the Cape of Toughness, the Spiritombs are very, very dangerous. So if the opponent is not running Galarian, Zigzagoon, there's gonna be a lot of 1 prize madness. Just for 1 single energy, you smack a whole heap of damage. Spiritomb's maximum damage output is 160 with the Cape of Toughness. That even goes overboard. So that's very fantastic. Cape of Toughness allows it to get 50 extra HP. So the Spiritomb has 110 HP. So you could put 310 damage with your Spiritomb, which is very funky to think about. If you want to go even more overboard, I suggest putting in 1 copy of Galarian Zigzagoon, so you get the magical number 320, but thinking about it, it is not necessary because you're a 1 prize deck and you should be able to uptrade against most archetypes. Against ADP Station, you definitely want to go as quickly as possible to just use Spike Mud, switch Spiritomb, Building Spite until you are able to 1-hit KO the ADP, and before it, like if it uses Ultra Creation Jax, then you try to 1-hit KO that. Okay, what else is in here? We have, of course, 3 copies of Boss's Orders. Gusting is very important in this list. And then 3 copies of Marnie, 4 copies of Professor's Research. Follow that up with the tool card of choice, Cape of Toughness. As mentioned, you could be running the Memory Capsule and Big Charms in here. but or maybe even buff batting, but I'm a bigger fan of like Cape of Toughness. It works very well for Spiritomb, but also works very well for the Phanpys that like to strike back. And then to finish off the energies, very simple, I opted to go for a 3-3-3 split. 3 copies of Aurora Energy, 3 copies of the Darkness Energy over here, and then 3 copies of the physical Fighting type Energy. You could even go for 4 Aurora Energies if you want to, but I'm a bigger fan of like having the 3-3-3 split, because with Ordinary Rod you can shuffle certain energies back. So that is my first archetype that I wanted to showcase for Vivid Voltage. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the content that I'm putting out. There's a lot more Vivid Voltage coming up. I have a list over here that has actually stated that there's a lot of archetypes still coming. Colossal, Garbodor, Whimsicott, you name it. I'm going to be covering it all on the channel, so be sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out. Also, I'm going to be giving away another coupon code for Card Market. That's going to be a €5 coupon code. And I'm going to be putting that on the screen very shortly. Just trying to just put it on the correct place. There we go. And it should be right about here. So I'm going to be putting it... Yeah, it should be somewhere under the Dedenne. Yeah, there we go. So the code is now under the Dedenne. It's a €5 coupon code. Let me know if you are the lucky person that claimed this code. It's only for one person, and it's for a €5 coupon that you can just immediately redeem and just try just purchasing something on cardmarket.com. Also check out my other sponsor over here. It's going to be PoTownStore.com for your TCG online needs. They have everything from like promo cards for the Zacian, from trainer toolkit, coupon codes, everything you want for, of course, the Pokemon trading card game online. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to demolish the like button. As always, I know the channel actually needs that thanks to like the YouTube algorithm and all that, but it does make a difference. So if you want to make a difference, that's how you do it. Also, let me know what you think about the Donphan Spiritomb archetype. Will you try it out for yourself? This looks like to be one of the better one-price decks out there. And also subscribe for more content. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next video very shortly. I'm out. Peace.